Hey guys, in this video, we're gonna go over every single item in the new and returning adventures section in the Pearl store. We'll talk about the Pearl value for some of the more complicated packs and whether or not some of these items are useful. Finally, we'll also talk about whether each pack is worth it to buy or not. These are of course gonna be my own personal suggestions based on playing this game for more than 6 years, but always be sure to look at each item yourself and see if you want it or not, or if it benefits your own playstyle. Always be sure to spend responsibly on games. So to get into the first items, the 1+1 Pearl boxes are often the biggest value items you can get if you are going to spend money on Black Desert Online. The things that make these boxes the best is of course because it doubles the amount of pearls you get for spending money. You can always save these pearls for big event sales, giving you even more value. There isn't anything weird that forces you to spend it on non-discounted items or anything like that. Because of the bonus pearls you get innate to each box, the higher value 1+1 boxes are obviously going to be better since you get more bonus pearls. But if you ever are going to spend money on pearls, be sure to buy these 1+1 boxes since you get double the pearls. You can buy all 3 of these boxes for a total of 7,008 coins or around $70 US. The 1+1 boxes are a little bit more common than they used to be. I believe last Black Friday they released almost all of the Pearl boxes as a 1+1 sale, including the 10,000 A-coin one. In the past, they've only done the 6,000 A-coin box as a 1+1, and it was unique, almost once in a lifetime thing. And now they definitely release the sale a lot more. However, even though these are more popular, the best value has only ever been 1+1 packs, giving double the pearls. There hasn't been anything better than that, so the 1+1 pack is the best way to get pearls. Finally, to wrap up this section, don't ever feel forced to buy these packs, as 1+1 packs do come back into the Pearl shop every now and then. Currently, there is a 3,000 A-coin 1+1 pack just on sale for 2 weeks for a pretty small in-game event. At the end of the day, you still are spending real-world dollars on Black Desert Online. If you do plan on spending money on pearls, it's a really good value. Now we'll move on to the next pack for new adventures, the New and Adventure pack. This pack is the one pack for new adventures that does require some valuations since PA didn't value the pearl items in the pack correctly. For the other packs, they did value them correctly. This pack also includes so many different items, so it's going to take a little bit longer to explain. Almost all of these items are on the Pearl store, so we just simply grab their prices from the Pearl store and combine them. The only weird thing is the polar bear, which is the same pet rarity as the Arctic fox, so we just put the same pearl value there. The reason it's weird is because you can't buy the polar bear from the Pearl store, you can only get it from packs like these or special event packs. The organic feed and combat experience scrolls are pretty easy to get and aren't really that impactful, so we didn't assign a pearl value to them. If we add up every single item on the list, we can see that in total this pack is worth 10,900 pearls. Since the items on the Pearl store often go on sale, to find a comparable number, we need to get the discount equivalents. To do this, we simply divide the cost of the box, 2,460 pearls, by the pack's worth, and then subtract that number from 1. With that, we get a discount equivalence of 77.43%, which means that buying this pack is the same thing as getting every single item in this pack at a 77.43% discount. This is honestly a pretty big discount, with most weekly discounts being 30 to 50% and event discounts being upwards of 70 to maybe 80%. A 77.43% discount is super good and competes with a lot of the event sales. With that being said though, there are some items on the list that really aren't going to be that worth it to buy or use, especially for a newer player. So we have to create a separate valuation that takes away these pearls. The second valuation we did takes away the pearl cost of Elian's Blessing and Tears of the Wind. Elian's Blessings are used to revive you if you die and saves the character experience that you would have lost. The reason I don't include them is because I have never bought any of these in the Pearl store and very likely never will. You just get so many of them through events and random things that you most likely won't ever run out. There is a cheaper version called Elian's Tears that you will likely end up with a ton of. Even being a person that used to do a lot of open world PvP, I have never run out of them and needed to spend pearls on them. If you are a PvE player who doesn't PvP, the only use of them would be to save experience if you die to mobs. It does happen sometimes if you are a lower gear or grinding a higher end Dekia spot, but again, I've never used up all of my tears before, so I don't really think they're worth buying. Tears of the Wind we took away since they're only used to revive your horse if it runs into an accident. You can also revive your horse with a little bit of silver from any stable keeper, so it really isn't that crazy of an item. I've also never bought these before with pearls. If for some reason your horse does explode and you don't want to get back to a stable keeper, you can buy these for loyalties in the loyalty shop, so it isn't that big of a deal. With both of these items taken away, we have a total of 9,500 pearl value, which is still a discount equivalent of 74.11%, which is honestly still an amazing deal. This valuation will be the valuation that most people will use when determining to buy the pack, but we also included a third valuation in case you don't value the classic outfit box. The classic outfit box is a really cool item for newer players as it lets their characters look different, and there really are some nice looking classic outfits. However, it doesn't really give any long-term account benefits that you would expect a new player to want. Later on, of course, people cron these outfits, but for newer players, this isn't really applicable. If you really do value the look of your character, you can of course use the value we got previously, but with the classic outfit box taken out, we have a total value of 6,600 pearls with a discount equivalence of 62.73%. This is honestly still really good, and it's better than almost every weekly sale and still holds its own compared to event sales. Now that we know that the discount equivalence of this pack is super high, we still have to look at what the items are and if they are useful or not. Even if you're buying garbage for cheap, it's still gonna be garbage. Since we already talked about the classic outfit box, Ellion's Blessings, and Tears of the Wind, we won't talk about those again. The first two items are gonna be your storage and transaction maids. These are gonna be great quality of life upgrades for your account. Transaction maids lets you take items and silver from your central market warehouse, while storage maids lets you take items from your own town storages. They aren't required, but your first couple of maids will be super helpful and very good quality of life. They do sometimes give these out for free during events, though it is a little bit rare, maybe getting a couple maids a year. Most of the time when they do go on sale in the Pearl store, it'll only be maybe 50% off at best, only going higher if it's a really crazy deal. The maids are definitely going to be very helpful for a newer player. On to the next item, the Arctic Fox is a rare tier pet that gives 1% drop rate per level up to 5. This pet is going to be very good since you can get up to 5% drop rate basically forever. These obviously don't stack with each other, so the maximum drop rate you can get from pets is 5%. You can also only upgrade the pet tiers with other rare level pets. Though you may be able to snipe one off the market, this pet is definitely good and worth getting one way or another. The polar bear pet is interesting since it can't be bought on the market, but its unique effect is a little less required. It gives 10 weight per tier but starts at 20 weight, so it gives a maximum of 60 weight at tier 5. It also gives auto fishing reduction, so if you don't have a pet that gives you that, you can double dip a little by getting both with just one pet. The weight honestly isn't going to be that crucial and you can live without it pretty easily, but it can be a really nice bonus for newer players. Since it is a pet, it's not bound to one character and can be used on any character. It's not as good as the Arctic Fox, but it is more rare and can even be used to upgrade the Arctic Fox if you so choose. The final item is the character expansion slot coupon, which is definitely a worthwhile item as you'll need multiple alt characters to have leveled and some to sit at bosses that you may want to regularly defeat. They are going to have a base price of 600 pearls, and often the best sales for these will only be 50% off during new seasons or whatnot. So a pack like this giving at worst a 62% off discount equivalent is definitely a good deal. You will almost always need character slots until you max it out. Overall though, this pack is pretty good value with items I would consider to be super helpful for new players. Even if you don't value the cosmetics, a 62.73% discount equivalence for these items is honestly not a bad deal at all, with most of them being super useful. If you enjoy the classic outfit, a 74% discount equivalence is pretty crazy, and I would definitely recommend getting this pack if you can use the items in it. Again, always be sure to look at the items in the pack and see if you yourself can use them. This pack is the most complex item in this category and obviously took the most time since there are just so many random items in it. The rest of the items for new players are the exact same as the other returning adventure pack, with it having inventory expansion, weight, Maid, and choose your own pets. I'll now go over all of those items. The Maids are 60% off for 4 Maids. Again, Maids are really useful, but the more Maids you get, the less value each of them give in terms of quality of life improvements. It is slightly worse value than the starter pack, but it only contains Maids and is a little bit cheaper at 1920 pearls. I would honestly recommend newer players to get the starter pack to try out how Maids work, and if they think they need more of them, they can buy this pack. A 60% discount is honestly not bad for Maids. The pet pack is honestly not bad, also being 60% off. BDO has given more and more pets as of late through free-to-play means like quests and whatnot, so this pack isn't honestly fully required in my opinion. If you really do want to push your pet tiers early on for grinding, and aren't getting any luck pre-ordering them from the central market for silver, then this pack is honestly not that bad. Pets often do go on sale for a higher discount than Maids or other things, so it is completely fine if you choose to wait. You can slowly pre-order them from the central market for silver if there's an event that gives them out or some sort of RNG box, so be sure to keep your eyes out for that. Next, we can see that a character slot expansion coupon is on sale for 50% off, so it's not a bad deal if you need more character slots. Again, we talked about this earlier, so if you do think you need more characters, picking them up isn't a bad idea. Finally, we get to weight and inventory expansions, which are both at a 60% discount. Both of these items are a little bit more scary as these items eat up a ton of people's pearls. You have to be aware not to overspend on these items. To be fair, both are very helpful, but they are only applied to one of your characters that you buy them on, so if you ever for whatever reason want to play another class either to PvP, PvE, or life skill on, you'll have to buy more weight and inventory slots. In my opinion, inventory slots are a lot less value with most things in the game being easily doable with just the free inventory slots you get from completing seasons and random events. I would only buy this if you find yourself really struggling for inventory slots for whatever reason. The only time I've ever bought inventory slots was a long time ago when I was active fishing, but that's not really a thing anymore. Weight, on the other hand, is a lot easier to max and to use while grinding or doing life skills. Though you can still get past this by horse stacking, it is a little bit more annoying and some things you really can't do. Weight is definitely better value than inventory slots in my opinion, though again, it only applies to the character you use it on, so you have to be sure to use it wisely on a character you'll play for a long time. Again, all these things also apply to the returning adventure packs as they are the exact same items for both of them. Finally, now that we've talked about all these packs, we have to move on to the exclusive pack for returning adventurers. The Returning Adventurer New Adventure Pack is correctly valued at a 70% discount, having a value of 6,250 pearls and costing 1,875 pearls. A 70% discount for a Celestial Horse Flute, character coupon, and premium outfit box is pretty good, and it does really compete with a lot of the really good event sales. However, as I said earlier, the premium outfit box doesn't really help your account, and if you aren't going to turn it into crons, it's going to be purely cosmetic. If you don't value the premium outfit box, the discount equivalence goes down drastically and becomes 34%. That's honestly not very worth it for a character coupon, but can be a little bit better than the general weekly sales for Celestial Horse Flute. If you find yourself really needing this flute, this pack can still be a decent pickup just for the flute. Obviously though, this pack isn't going to be as crazy as some of the big event deals, but it's not awful if you're really going to need the items in this pack. Finally, for returning adventurers is a really weird pack, the Premium Outfit Pack. If you don't value Patrigo's outfit swaps, then it's going to be a 60% discount. If you do, then it'll be a 62% discount equivalence. This pack is really going to be based on the player, as a 60% discount for premium outfits isn't bad, but at this point you're basically spending pearls for silver and not spending your pearls on anything unique to pearls only. If you are in a server where there's less whales and getting premium outfits from the central market for silver is difficult, and want to have a certain outfit on your characters, then this pack can be worth it. You can also cron them for crons if you're into that. It doesn't have any crazy account upgrades in it, but again, it isn't a bad deal. Anyways, that's basically all for this video. It does take a bit longer to not only go through every single item's value, but also to talk about the usages of these items. But since this is a video for newer and returning players, I thought it would be useful for them to understand the use cases for these items and not just what they are worth. Either way, I hope you all enjoyed and learned something from this video, and I hope to see you all next time.